Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I'd like to continue with part 2 of my 24-hour Russian I.R.P. Now I started this last week and had a look at the contents and breakfast. Now today I'd like to take a look at the lunch and dinner components. So let's get these on a table and see what this pack contains. Welcome back to part 2 of this Russian I.R.P. Now today I've got everything ready laid out, save a little bit of time, and I'm going to start by looking at the lunch menu. So for lunch from this particular ration, I thought I'd take a look at the bacon or pork fat. The translation does actually say it's bacon, but I think I've seen these before and it's pretty much just pure pork fat. We'll have a look at the cherry beverage base powder, a nice tea. I have here for the main meal, it's beef with carrots and peas. There is what I believe to be an apple puree or an apple type sauce, some of the plain white wheat crackers, and I have some salt and pepper on standby just in case. So as always, I'm going to start where I usually like to start, and that is with the beverages. So this is one of the teas. So just nice little picture there of an elephant on the front, and standard looking sort of tea bag. So we'll just get some hot water on that. Nearly picked up the cold water there, so let's get the right one, and around about half a mug should do this particular tea. And using the spoon that came in the pack, just give that a little bit of agitation. Now I do normally have milk and sugar, as you'd know by now. There was no more whiteners in this pack. The whitener is used up in the coffees, but there is plenty of sugar, so I shall add a little bit of sugar from the breakfast portion, or part 1 of these videos. There's 3 of those packs of sugar, large quantity, far too much for my needs. Okay, I'm going to have a look at the cherry beverage base powder. Now it does feel a little bit damp, so I'll bring in one of my old knives just to help open the package in there. And as seen in the breakfast, it's a very coarse looking powder. This time I will add the cold water and just give it a good stir. About half a glass I think for these particular ones. Very granular, taking some dissolving. I do believe you can make these with hot water to get a hot drink, which obviously would make those sugar granules dissolve a little bit quicker. So just let that rest for a moment. And I think it's time to start opening some of the mains. This does actually say bacon, but I think it's pretty much pork fat. Now I was not sure whether to warm this up and turn it into a liquid fat with bacon or eat it cold. I thought perhaps cold might be better, so I've not got a tray full of melted fat. I have the beef with carrots and peas. This has been pre-warmed, boiled in a pan of hot water for 10 minutes. Very, very well sealed. And as the name suggests, it is pretty much just carrots, peas and beef in a gravy. Let's have a look at some of this, what I believe is an apple sort of puree. Very much so. Looks like a liquidized apple, very much like the British pouched pureed fruit. And last but not least, we're going to open some of the plain wheat crackers. And again, there was 2 packs of these and 2 packs of the dark crackers, so plenty of crackers. I'll just give that tea bag, oh, the strings come off now, so let's get that tea, a little bit of agitation there. Okay, so let's start with the tea. So standard dark style tea, good quality. This one actually tastes a little bit of the bag. I can actually taste a bit of the paper. I don't know if that's a normal thing, I'm sure it's not, but the paper that that tea bag was in was quite strong. You can actually taste the paper. But away from that, a good, decent, dark, standard tea. Take a look at the cherry drink. Not overly coloured, which is nice to see. Delicate flavouring. Very little flavour, artificial flavour, but it is a standard sort of artificial cherry flavour, but very, very light in the background. A very light, refreshing, not overly coloured, not overly flavoured beverage base. Now, I don't know where to start. I think I should start with the carrots and peas and beef in a gravy. So as you can see, there's plenty of carrots, plenty of peas, and a little bit of the beef there. So I've tried a piece of all together. Burning my hands there. Nicely salted, nicely peppered. The peas still have a lot of texture to them. They're not been boiled past the point or boiled to oblivion. They are still got texture. The carrots are very soft. They have been a little bit overcooked, but the peas certainly still have a lot of the texture, a little bit more of the meat. Soft, tender, huge great chunks of beef. I don't know if you can see the size of that big chunk of beef there. Looks like it's been pan-seared or pan-fried before it went in. You can see a little bit of the browning. So big chunks of meat, plenty of peas, carrots, and a nice, delicate, nicely salted and peppered and seasoned gravy. Very tasty, very enjoyable. Now, let's move along to the bacon. Now, I didn't warm this up. It was very touch and go. Do I warm it? Don't I warm it? It says can be eaten straight from the tin, so I'm trying it that way. An exceptionally large amount of fat. Obviously the Russian winters are very, very cold. They need a bit of fat to keep them warm. Salty, as it looks, an awful lot of soft fat. The bacon is salty, it is soft, it is tasty. I don't know if I think I did right by not overheating it, by not warming it up, but there is an awful lot of fat there. It's very salty, very soft, very easy to chew, with a large amount of congealed fat, almost like a lard, but that has gone through and it's picked up the flavour of the bacon. I'm just going to try a little bit of that with a little bit of the peas to see if it can help with that fat a little. Yes, it does. A few of the peas helps with the fattiness. Personally, it's something I could get used to. Whether I'd want to eat this regularly, I don't think I would. I don't think it would do your arteries and your heart much good. But it's just very salty, very soft, fatty bacon, greatly enhanced with the addition of some of the vegetables to help with that fat. But very nice. Very nice in small quantities. Now, I do have a Russian spoon from a previous Russian ration. I should just bring in This just looks like an apple puree. Sorry, speaking in my mouthful there. There is an apple puree, very much like a baby food in texture. Pure apple. It doesn't even taste like it's been sweetened. Very natural, very unsweetened pureed apple. It is literally just pure apple in a puree form. Finally, just have a look at the crackers. Crisp, crunchy, plain wheat cracker. Nice and crisp, nice and crunchy. On its own, not overly distinctive, slightly salted. I would say these are slightly better than the darker brand crackers. Try a little bit as a base for some of the mains. As always, excellent bulking agent, perfect for adding a few more calories and a bit more crunch to whatever you decide to have them with. So, brief recap. Tea, standard dark tea. This particular one has a slight flavour of the bag. The paper the bag was made of seems to have been imported into the tea, but it's still, behind that, a decent dark tea. The cherry drink, light, delicate, highly sugared, but with that said, not overly processed with chemicals, artificial flavours. Nice, refreshing mouth cleanser with a slight artificial cherry taste in the background. Pork fat or bacon, as you can see, extremely fatty. I think I did right by not heating it up and melting that fat, turning it into a liquid grease. The bacon there is very salty but soft and tender. Goes much better with a little bit of greens just to take that fat edge off it. But I can see in cold Russian winter that fat would certainly help fuel your body. The beef with carrots and peas, tasty, huge chunks of beef. There's a slab of beef there, nice big thick slab. As you can see, carrots, peas. The carrots are a little bit overcooked, the peas still have some texture. The gravy is delicate but nicely salted and peppered. A good, decent, hot, comforting beef stew type meal. The pureed apple is simply that. Pureed apple. Doesn't seem like there's any other sugars or sweeteners, just an apple which has been liquidized and sealed in a pack. Very tasty, very refreshing, very natural flavoured apple. And the crackers, nice simple wheat crackers, good background base, slightly salty, in my opinion slightly better than the darker ones, as it's got a little bit of salt in there, a little more flavour. Good background. Try a little bit with the apple. I tried it with the meat. I'm sure it'll go well with that. Again, a good, simple, plain wheat cracker. Universally usable for sweet and savoury. So, I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for watching, and join me in a few seconds for part 2, where I take a look at the evening meal or dinner. And welcome back to part 2, or the final dinner component of this Russian 24-hour I.R.P. And for the evening meal, I thought I shall take a look at their chocolate. There is the final drinks powder, and I think this one is plum. There is some processed cheese. There is braised beef. There is another liver pate, beef liver pate, some vegetable caviar, and we still have some crackers, both plain and dark. So let's start where I normally like to start, and the beverages. Now I've tried a tea, I've tried a coffee, and I've tried 2 of these as a cold drink. So I thought this third and final one, I'll try one of these drink powders as a hot drink. So this particular one I think is peach or plum, and I was just bringing one of my knives there just to help open it. And as I've just said, I'm going to have this one with hot water, just to try the variety, try it in a different style. So like the previous ones, a coarse grained looking beverage base powder, and I'm going to give this approximately half a cup of hot water, and that's dissolved and much quicker, much easier than previously. So I'll just leave that a minute to do its thing, and we'll start by opening the cheese. So this is a processed cheese. Looks like it has a little bit of separation going on there, a little bit of oil separation, but I'm sure that's fine. Well, this is nice and hot, so I'll open the braised beef. Now this has been boiled again. Oh, it looks like it's already broke its seal there, being quite tough. I think I'm going to have to bring the knife in to help this along a little bit. Lots of gravy in there, I can see lots of juice. Not opening very easily, but I think that's open enough for you to get a general idea. I'm just trying not to splash this all over everywhere because it is fat, melted fat. And I think we'll move on to the pate, the second pate. This one looks like it's a lot smoother than the first, but it does say again a beef liver, beef brain pate. Should have a look at the vegetable caviar, and these have been seen many times before now, virtually in all Russian rations, but they do have slight variations. You can eat them hot or cold. I've got this one cold in this instance. Keep on going. I have some of both of the crackers, some of the brown crackers and some of the white crackers seen in lunch, so I should get a couple of those out. Obviously there's no point opening the other 2 packets when I still have some left from the lunch and the dinner and the breakfast. And finally, I'll just wipe that bit of grease away there. We have a chocolate. For me, always the best part of any meal. A chocolate bar, you can't go wrong. This is actually just broken, but nice, small, chunky chocolate there. So, where do I start? I'm going to start with the hot beverage base. Now it looks nice and mild, nice smell. Now that is much sweeter than the cold. Obviously the hot water has helped that sugar dissolve. Still a very delicate fruit flavour in the background, but personally I think these drinks are actually better in their hot stage, hot form. So, certainly a lot sweeter. That sugar has dissolved far better. It does make very nice hot fruit flavoured drink. I don't know where to go. I think we should go straight to the mains. We have here, as it says, braised beef. It looks like it's just big chunks of braised beef in its own juices. Very, very, very large chunks. I think I'm going to need to use the knife just to break this up a little. Just as the name suggests, it is just big chunks of braised beef in some natural looking juices. It's soft, tender, dissolves in your mouth, melts in your mouth sort of beef. Very easily digested, Nice amount of salt, pepper and seasoning. Very simple. I think it's a beef fat based gravy, but it's a very enjoyable, very soft chunks of beef. Beef, just beef and nothing but beef, but very soft, very tasty, very enjoyable, meaty dish. So let's have a look at the pate. Now it's a nice soft standard pate consistency. I'll try a little bit off the knife on its own first. Far less liver than the previous version. The one in the previous I had for breakfast and a very strong distinctive liver flavour. This one, it's far in the background. There is liver, but this would be more acceptable to the non-liver lovers that are out there. But it's very nice, soft, creamy liver pate. Try a little bit on the cracker with a little bit of the beef juice there. Good combination. Try a little bit of the pate and the beef together on the cracker. Again, another good combination. Pate, cracker, beef. Nice bulking agent. We just rinse the knife there. I think what we'll do, take a look at the vegetable caviar. Now again, it's nice and soft, nice and creamy. You can have this hot or cold. I tend to like it on its cold state. Blended vegetables, courgette, zucchini, base to it. Very soft, very light, lightly delicately salted, peppered. You can see little herbs in there, a few little herbs, black pepper. Again, much better on a cracker. A little bit with the pate, just looking for different variations. Goes with the pate, a little bit with the beef, so the beef and vegetable caviar. Okay, nice combination, meat and vegetables. Just quickly rinse that knife. Take a look at the processed cheese. There's been a bit of separation going on. It does look like the oils have separated there, so it's like a cheese spread, a spreadable cheese. Delicate cheddar sort of taste in the background. The oils certainly need mixing in to reconstitute, but again, another one I think which is perfect and needs the crackers. So cheese on the crackers. Cheese and crackers. What could be wrong? Very nice, soft, slightly cheddar background flavour. Not mature cheddar by any means, but it's a nice, easily spread cheese. A little bit of the caviar. Cheese and caviar, caviar and cheese. Again, another good combination. So many combinations of tastes, flavours, textures. Very enjoyable ration. Another taste of the hot drink just to cleanse my palate. Very nice, very sweet, so much sweeter in its hot form. Didn't need the salt and pepper. Just need to have a look at the chocolate. Nice dark looking chocolate, big thick slabs. Good cocoa content, tasty, melts on your tongue, coats your mouth. Melted chocolate, nice, crisp, very enjoyable, very tasty, dark chocolate. Certainly going to be finishing most of this after the review. So, quick recap. The beverage base powder, hot water. Personally, for these beverage powders, I actually think that is the better option. It makes them a lot sweeter, the sugar dissolves easier, and it makes a very nice fruit, hot, comforting drink. Chocolate, good quality, dark chocolate, breaks nice and cleanly, melts on your tongue, coats your mouth with that lovely chocolatey flavours. Cheese, soft cheese, a little bit of separation going on in this particular one, slight cheddar flavour in the background, certainly not a mature cheddar by any means, but as a good spreadable cheese on the crackers, a great side dish. Braised beef, just what it says, braised beef, nothing else. Large chunks of beef in its own sort of natural juices, soft, tender, melts in your mouth, very filling. The pate, liver pate, but this I prefer to the previous one I had in the breakfast. The liver is so much more in the background as opposed to full-on liver flavour. Smooth, creamy, nice spreadable pate that most people should be familiar with, and certainly one for people that are not too much on that deep liver flavour. Crackers, red and brown, white and brown, sorry. Personally, I prefer the white cracker. It has slightly more flavour, a little bit of salt gives it a little bit more flavour on its own. Brown cracker though, very universal, very little flavour on its own, but both do make great bulking, background and texture enhancing additions. The vegetable caviar, zucchini or courgette, I think there might be some tomatoes in there, certainly herbs, spices, salt, pepper, again a nice vegetable puree, helped a little bit with the just meat, so you got some meat and vegetables, certainly again went well with the crackers. So there is still a few items left in the box. There's a couple of packets of crackers, some more wipes, teas, sugars. There is a vegetable tablet. I'm not going to take a vegetable pill. I do take a multivitamin every day, so I don't want to overdo it, but it's just a vitamin pill. Certainly plenty more left over here. So very enjoyable, very tasty Russian I.R.P. menu 1. So I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you and goodbye.